On today's episode of the Command Center podcast, Fred's at the Super Bowl. Don't let your backups play because it might be a future Hall of Famer.
Wally pipped him.
B. Mitch is in the house. Then we got we preview our new DC. We got Daronte Jones in the building. Talk about why we're excited. We got our Super Bowl preview. Sam Darnold versus Drake Maye. And then we got our burgundy and gold trivia to finish it off. It all starts right now. Welcome into the Command Center podcast. I'm Logan Paulson here with Santana Mosh and very special guest, Ryan Mitchell.
B. Mitch. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks for joining us, man. And as always, the Command Center podcast is presented by Big Bear AI, mission-ready AI for a rapidly evolving world. And we're in the Big Bear AI Command Center studio. And B, it feels very appropriate to have you on the show this week because it's Super Bowl week. And of all of the talent on this program, you're the only one that's won a Super Bowl.
Only one with a champ.
All right, well, I'll try to bring some knowledge.
Bring some knowledge. So do you have like a favorite Super Bowl memory?
Yeah, winning it. You know what? I've watched a lot of Super Bowls and all, but I tell people this story. When we played in Minnesota, coming out of the tunnel, I had all my life, I've seen the flashes. And I didn't prepare myself for it, I guess. When I walked out the tunnel and they started doing all the flashing, I did not remember the first 5 minutes of the game.
You were just like totally.
I figured it out years later when I finally watched the Super Bowl. I didn't know they had kicked off the ball and they had to blow the whistle because they weren't ready. And then they kicked it off again.
So you just were like, because you were so infatuated with the environment?
I was just stuck.
So you saying that, because we've all talked about this, the level or I guess you can say how the game switches from regular season to postseason. You know, that postseason game is like, so you mean to tell me the Super Bowl game is 10 times bigger? 10 times bigger than
Listen, we walking through the tunnel, yapping. I'm, like I do, I talk. I was doing for Fred, And when I stepped out that tunnel, like everything just went quiet.
Yeah.
And I remember them kicking off the ball, but then Ricky Irvins caught it because they kicked it away from me. And then I just remember them stopping and we lined up again. I didn't know what was going on. Dang. I didn't realize until years later that they had kicked off twice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's but what
another level.
But what a great memory though. Obviously remember for the rest of your life and
but that game, bro, it was unbelievable where
y'all dominated the whole game.
They had talked trash all week. They
played the Bills.
I remember, we played against the Buffalo Bills, and they had been talking about who was going to win the Super Bowl on their team. I mean, win the MVP.
Oh, wow.
And, we went to practice. That week, Coach Gibbs had to stop practice and tell us, hey, y'all got to calm it down. Because if y'all don't calm it down, we won't have it. Rippon got rolled up.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so he had to slow us down. And then we got in that game, man. It was just, Jumpy was throwing people at the offensive line, at Jim Kelly. And that game was over. At the end of the game, I went up to Rippon and I just was talking. I said, when they come to you to say you won the MVP and you go into Disney World, I'm going with you. And all that was on film.
Oh, really?
So I get to see that all the time.
That's great, man.
I know where the camera was.
That's great, man.
Damn, I want a championship. I want to go back, man.
That'd be awesome.
I just want to experience the game.
Jeez. It would be just super fun, to just be there. Anyway, the reason B. Mitch is here is because Fred is out at the Super Bowl on Radio Row this week. And
team got brave,
it's safe to say we allow Fred to leave for a change.
One time, man. We were trying
it's in the whole, we can't let him go out the country. So no. It's in the country.
But it's so funny. We were trying to get a hold of him this morning for a segment just to get his take on something. And we couldn't get a hold of him right away. And we're like, oh, he's gone. He's in Mexico. It's over.
We done lost him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But again, so Get Loud, his podcast, his show will be our kind of Super Bowl coverage from Radio Row this week. So make sure you guys check that out on the YouTube channel and on the podcast. And we got a Get Loud read for you here. Okay. So do you want to win tickets with pregame field passes to watch the home opener? Then you need to watch Get Loud with Jenks and Smoot this week from Radio Row in San Francisco. They're going to head with some football-related challenges out there. All you have to do is pick the winner. Email your pick, either Jenks or Smoot, to WashingtonGetLoud at gmail.com. The winner will be selected on the next week's episode of Get Loud. So make your pick and get into the game for your chance to win those tickets. So that sounds like a lot of fun. So Jenks and Smoot are competing in something.
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
We'll see that.
You don't use your money on Jenks. Jeez, I mean,
if it's talking, Fred's gonna win.
Dude, Fred always wins the talking.
Something you got to remember: Jinx win.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I'm just saying.
Because he can remember stuff.
Jinx remember stuff, man. Fred,
Jinx is they're both really smart guys though. Yeah. So I'm curious to see what that is. I'm gonna have to tune in, check it out. Just promote that. All right, so we have had some really big news here in DC. We have a new DC in DC. That's Daronte Jones. And I haven't talked to either one of you guys because we were off for a couple of weeks. I was in Mobile. You were in Miami. I haven't seen you since the end of the season.
How was Mobile?
Mobile was fun, man. Like it was.
Seen anything you like? Seen any players?
Dude, I mean, it's always fun. Like so, this is the first year I went to the Shrine Bowl and then to the Senior Bowl. And I will say the level of prospect at the Senior Bowl is drastically different. Yeah. Like they're just bigger, stronger, faster. They're more physically violent. And again, there's good players at the Shrine Bowl, but they're much more like role players. Like here's the fourth receiver, here's a special teams linebacker. And at the Senior Bowl, you're like, dude, it's a starter. That dude's a stud, yeah. So a little different, but it's always fun to go down there and do that thing. But yeah, we haven't talked about the DC hire. And again, I'll just open the floor. I guess I'll start with B-Mitch because you're the guest.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the hire of Daronte Jones?
I'm excited about it. You know, I know everyone talks about first-time play calling and things like that, but I'm kind of like Dan, where I like people who've been through some stuff. You know, and he's been with 4 different guys. Zimmer, okay, you go up there with Flores, and then I can forget his name in Denver as well. You have those guys who all been very aggressive, who blitzes, who have different disguise coverages and things like that. And I think when I look at football, being a former quarterback, I like defenses that make you speed up everything. Yeah. Like I've seen too many defenses where they play back and let you, if you could drop back in the NFL, I don't care what level of quarterback you are at, and they play where it's kind of going to be like a 7-on-7 drill for you, where you don't get a lot of pressure, you will find open people. But if you have to speed it up, even the best quarterback throw the ball to the wrong person. Yeah. And you got to be perfect damn near when you have, so a lot of times you'll have some man-to-man coverages, you know, and then you may think it's man, but it's not. When you make a quarterback have to be perfect and you could get some pressure on them, it changes up the whole ball game.
Yeah. No, I feel you with that. I'm one of those guys, man. I've never been the guy to worry about how long he's coached at that particular, you know, position, meaning like, has he been in DC before? Or has he, this is his first time being in DC? Like, he's been coaching. This is his opportunity. Obviously, he has a track record good enough for him to now have that opportunity. You see it all the time. You see all these DCs, OCs getting head coaching jobs for the first time. This is their first time because they earned the opportunity. It's like us going through high school to get a chance to get a scholarship to go to college. Yeah. You go to college to get a chance to get drafted. You have to go through those roads to get to where you're trying to go. And so being that he's a first-time DC, who cares? He's a coach that was qualified to be where he's at. So I'm intrigued by that. And I'm also intrigued by just knowing where he come from. You know what I mean? You know, being under Flores, just seeing some of the things that we saw. Like, we talked about this all the time. We watched that defense that day. And let the truth be told, even though we had a goose egg, we could have easily scored that game. But that defense showed us why you can't sleep on teams like that or defenses like that. They make you be perfect. They make you do things that if you don't take advantage of it now, you're going to pay later. And that's what we saw in that defense. So I'm intrigued, man. I'm intrigued to see who his staff going to be. I'm intrigued just to see what we look like, man. I think every season brings something new. And I'm looking forward to the new with him.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, too, is he's not called plays in the NFL. He's not been an NFL defensive coordinator, but he called plays at LSU.
But he has.
And so I do think that, like, there are guys that, you know, when you've had that opportunity at any level of calling plays, it's important because it shows you kind of the process. You know, one of the things I get worried about with, like, first-time play callers is, like, what's your game day process? Like, how do you install stuff? He's gone through that at some level, and I do think it provides an opportunity for him to kind of reflect and say, this is what I did at LSU. Now, I didn't like this. I like this. I love what Flores did, or I love what Zimmer did. And then now I can apply that to the Washington Commanders in this position. And the other thing that I'm really glad you brought up, B, is the Zimmer thing. Like, I remember playing against Zimmer. Did you guys play? You played against him, right? Did you play against him? Yeah. And again, they were innovative in terms of, like, their third down blitz package with that AA and then the overhang in terms of 4-week. And that used to give us fits. So I think it's great that he was with this extremely innovative defensive coordinator in Zimmer. And then he's now with kind of the new iteration of that. Yeah. in Flores. Again,
totally.
And teams defensively that can apply pressure to you offensively and dictate what you want to do is a total game changer.
Yeah.
And so like the thing that I get super juiced up about is just the idea that you're going to be able to dictate offense.
Yeah.
Like you can't run your normal stuff when you get a team that's pressuring like this.
Oh, no, you can't. Yeah, it speeds up everything for you. And I just like to throw a guy out there who did something for the first time and ended up being very good at it. Joe Gibbs came here.
Was he a first time?
And when he came here as a head coach, that was his first time being a head coach. You know, and then he not only was a head coach, he would call plays and all that. They started off 0-5. They went 8-3 the rest of that year. And then you look at his history of what he's done. I think you get opportunities to do stuff. Go back with Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Andy Reid, I think, was the offensive line coach or whatever when he was with Holmgren.
Yeah.
You know, Holmgren called the plays. Then Andy gets the head coaching job at Philly. Done good for himself, hadn't he? You know, I just think sometimes you have to allow people the chance. You see so many jobs that say, you need experience. Well, how the hell am I get the experience if nobody hired me? Some people are just ready for it. I think when you look at Blau on the other side, he's ready for it. And I think also, I believe Daronte has been around long enough to be ready for it as well. And you have to give people a chance. Sometimes, you know, we have seen enough of the retreads get job after job and they're not doing good at it. Well, maybe the new innovative young minds may come in and do something better.
Yeah, it's just time.
And I think the other thing too, in terms of his background, like everyone talks about LSU, we talked about Zimmer. The other thing that gets me honestly really excited is like ultimately at like when you're a coach, you're an educator, you're a teacher. He was a teacher at the high school level. He was a coach at the high school level. And I go to all these different coaching conferences for all the, you know, football. I'm doing one for rugby right now because my son's playing rugby, trying to learn how to do that. And one of the things that I find is the most interesting is the best coaches were good coaches in high school because they're coaching to the lowest. They're coaching to the lowest common denominator. You know what I mean? They're not coaching to the guys in the NFL. So I think that like as a communicator to have that background, it's got to be just extremely important.
And also, he was under Vance Joseph. That's what I was trying to say.
Vance Joseph,
earlier. Vance Joseph. Look at the defense of them Broncos.
I know.
So you look at the level of people he's been under. And he's been like lately been the pass game coordinator. I want somebody with that mindset. Played cornerback. So he brings that experience with it as well. And I've always felt like the guys that are damn good at it in the league, the back end understands what they need from the front end. You know, so I'm expecting some good things here. And I know we're going to get the naysayers about, well, you got the young guys, but they had never done it before. I guarantee you every coach that ever coached in this league got a job that they hadn't done before. John Harbaugh has done well for himself as well. John Harbaugh was a special teams coach, a linebacker coach, became the head coach. He had never called defenses, you know, and I think he's done good. So sometimes people are just made for this thing.
And the other thing I want to ask you, Tana, because again, like one of the things that characterizes the Flores defense is they run more pressure than anybody. They run more all out, more zero than anybody. As a receiver, how is it challenging to run routes when there's that all out pressure look kind of behind you?
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
I was not expecting that answer, but
impossible. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying like you can't get it done. You can, but as a receiver, if you have something that's not hot right now, or you don't have a read, you don't have a check, then it's impossible for me to carry out that first assignment. You understand? So that's why I was always, you know, quoted on saying like, look, you know, they'll put the camera in front of me ASAP out there again because they know I'm gonna tell them the truth. And I'm like, regardless of who you got at corner, if we can't protect the quarterback, you can put my son in front of me and he gonna blanket me. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. So when I'm watching, and I love the seat I'm sitting in now because I pay close attention to different things that we talk about. And I see it all around the league. When you bring pressure, when you do the littlest thing to get that quarterback off of what he's used to doing, you see what Justin Jefferson went through this year. You know what I mean? I mean, I also know his quarterback had a lot of, you know, up and, you know, in and out coming, you know, from injuries, but still at times when they wasn't efficient at that position as a quarterback because you're not sure what you're seeing and people getting you off your spot, it's hard for you to be special outside. So, man, that's what I want to see from my defense. I want to see us get to the point to where, you know, we can be that defense. Even it don't matter who we have back there. We just bring that kind of tenacity that, hey, no matter who we play, you're not going to just sit back here and pick us apart.
You look at the playoffs this year, and look at some of the quarterback play. What caused problems?
Pressure, man.
Constant pressure. You know, we had quarterbacks that looked great throughout the regular season. It looked very average during the postseason season. So if you bring that pressure, like I said, you have to hit that spot and let it go.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you can't get all that stuff to come together.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was doing a breakdown for the Command Center show that we do. It'll be out on Thursday this week, I think. And watching the defensive backs in Minnesota, like when they're in their all-out look, like they're not. Like they're in man coverage, but everyone's staring at the quarterback because they know that ball has to be out right now. And so the receiver's trying to run a hitch, the receiver's trying to run a slant, and these dudes are just running through the ball. Yeah. And I was like, it's great to see DBs be that aggressive and that confident in the rush because again, not only are they detailing the secondary really well, but they're detailing the rush pattern to get free runners. Yeah. And so I think it's the nuance, the layers, the detail that I'm excited to see him bring here. And again, like we never know how it's going to go. Yeah. But he's been around the right type of people. Yeah, that's it. And for this type of defense. And the other thing that's cool, B and Tana too, is he's a local boy, right?
Yeah, local guy.
Went to Bishop McNamara High School, and it's got to be kind of cool to get him back in the area.
Oh yeah, I've talked to a lot of people that basically knew him. Some guys played with him. And they talk about how he's always been that guy who they thought was going to be a coach. And then to be coming back home, you have to have a good feel about that. I think you look at some of the colleges where they try to get people from the local area, and those guys have a different feel about that university than some guys coming from out of state or somewhere else. He has to feel great about this. He knew what it was. Yeah. He knew this team when they were doing the things that they did. So I'm looking forward to that just to see how much more he puts into it.
Yeah. And just to think too, just knowing that when you have the opportunities, like when you've been, you kind of been sought out by other, teams to say that, hey, I want this one, because of knowing that it's going to be pressure coming home. It's always pressure. I remember getting the opportunity at the University of Miami, and I remember changing how I did things because I'm like, look, bro, this is pressure in this is pressure in itself. I don't want to be trying to do this and this and this and miss out on this opportunity. And so you look back at it and you're like, man, I'm glad I nipped this in the bud, or I did, less of this, and I made sure I focused on things. That goes the same thing for any job, whether it's being a coach, player, or just doing something in the area. You want to be that guy. You want to be recognized as doing your job well. So knowing that he has that pressure, I'm pretty sure, man, he's coming here meaning business.
Yeah, man, and I'm excited for all the reasons we just talked about. Local boy, the experience, the people that he's been around. I think about the Zimmer defenses, the Flores defense, right? Like those are tough defenses to deal with. So the fact that he was a part of that is great. So I can't wait to see. I think we all can't wait to see what he does here, which is going to be really exciting. All right, Tana, let's pay some bills, man.
Let's pay these bills. What I got?
AAA.
Commanders fans, your fandom has just got an upgrade. Introducing the AAA Commanders MVP membership, where real fans get real perks and the same trusted AAA membership benefits. The new AAA Commanders membership provides the chance to win game tickets, access to VIP events and experiences, 15% off Commanders online pro shop, while providing peace of mind for Commander fans on the road. Already a AAA member? Don't sit on the sideline. Upgrade your membership or join today at AAA.com/Commanders.
All right, I got the Big Bear AI, Tana. All right, when the mission is critical and readiness matters, BigBear.ai delivers proven AI technology and expertise to help safeguard national security and critical infrastructure. That's Mission Ready AI. BigBear.ai, official partner of the Washington Commanders.
I'm gonna say this because it's only right I do. It feels so good not to have hate. Because every time we get to do a read, somebody on that left side over there, I'm mad that you got to sit in that seat, but that seat be having so much hate coming from it. So, Fred, I'm glad you went away for a couple of days. For a couple of days, man. I ain't got to worry about you ad-libbing. He ad-libbed the whole time I'm reading. He doing something over there. He fidgety. Everything he's doing. He over there.
Well, he's fidgety because he can't talk, man. It's like him not talking for 5 seconds, so it really gets him locked up.
But he throw a lot of shade over here, man.
All right, so now we got our Super Bowl preview because Fred's out the Super Bowl. So let's talk about the preview. And what we're going to do is we're going to do kind of the Patriots, take a little break, and then get into Seattle. And this segment is powered by Big Bear AI, mission-ready AI for a rapidly evolving world. Okay, so let's talk about this. And I think this is maybe the most interesting thing going into the Super Bowl about these two teams is the narrative that Drake Maye has had an easy schedule.
Yeah.
And you were talking about this with Jason before. They had a 39% winning percentage, which is the lowest of an opponent winning percentage in the NFL.
Since 1990.
Since 1919, 1999. And again, 11 of the 18 teams they played had fired head coaches. Yeah. So I personally, and again, I might be in the motor here, I think there's something to this. Yeah. Now, the NFL is not easy. You got to win the games. Yeah. But I do think their strength of schedule has been favorable.
It was favorable. But then there were opportunities where their defense was good enough that if they didn't just screw it up, they were going to probably have opportunity. Yeah. I think when you look at them right now, it wasn't offense that won the playoff games for them.
No, for sure.
Defense won those games. Yeah. Or C.J. Stroud won the game for him in one of them. Yeah. Okay, say it like that. But the whole thing of it is you get an easier schedule, you beat the teams you're playing. But I think when you get into the playoff, things change some. And we saw in some of these earlier games to where if you just don't mess up, you can win it. But they messed up. And you look at C.J. Stroud against them, historically bad performance. You look at Stidham against them, historically bad. He started off with a great touchdown, a big play, and then I guess he said, oh, Lord, I'm not supposed to be that good. Yeah. The double hand backwards pass. Yeah. You see all those things, and you're like, what is that? Well, that is defense. Yeah. Defense on the other side. So the thing of it, they're not just 1/3 of a team. They are very much a 2/3 team. Their defense and their special teams are special. Yeah. Offense is not as great as they need to be, but they don't make the stupid mistakes at the inopportune times.
I think the only reason why we even talking about this because of so many, I guess you can say, analysts that has been critiquing how well Drake Maye is as a quarterback. You know what I mean? Because he's here already. It's year 2. He's made it to the pinnacle.
To the dance, To
the dance. And the reason why they want to know, because they want to say, well, is he better than all these other guys that we talked about before? Everyone wants to be right about saying, I told you he was better than James Daniels. I told you he was better than Caleb. I told you he was better than McCarthy. Who cares about how easy it is? Who cares about what you said was right or wrong? I think when it all comes down to it, what you want to see is, can they go out there and win the big game? And whether McCarthy had an easy road to it, you should win. Whether the road was harder, if it's harder and you did win still, you should win because you're here. You have the opportunity. So I don't care. I care less about how difficult it was. I think it's all because they want to say this guy's better than this guy. And it really don't matter. To me, it don't matter because 1 year, like I said before, it's always going to be different from the next year. You saw what we went through. You saw what Minnesota went through. You saw how well Caleb played this year with a new OC, new head coach, with new offense. It's going to change. Things are going to change differently. Right now, Drake Maye and the New England Patriots took advantage of the opportunities that was in front of them, and they got in the postseason. And trust you me, I wish I was on that team having a run like that because it seemed like everything just was. Bro, I watched that Denver game. Even with Stidham stinking this joint, if it didn't snow the way it did, they probably still Denver would have probably still won the game. Like they still was around in that game to make a play or two. But once the snow came down, it just added insult to what they was already having out there at quarterback. So win it, man. And then everybody can say what they want to say, but I think it's gonna be hard.
I think Tanner's on to something where people want to be right, but let's be real. Football is hard to win.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's what I'm saying.
Regardless.
And we'll say this. When the Ravens won the Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer, nobody goes around saying how great Trent Dilfer was, though, but he was a Super Bowl winning quarterback. We have gotten to the point as a society where we give that position too much blame and too much praise. So this is not Drake Maye against the Seattle Seahawks. It's the New England Patriots against the Seattle Seahawks. Because he's going to be facing against another team, but he can change the narrative in this game if he comes out and ball out. And he had that shoulder injury, which now he's throwing the ball this week. We'll see if that injury if that really comes out to play as something.
He says he's feeling good, so we'll see how good and when somebody lay the right deal on them a little bit.
Yeah, but I think that's an interesting point, B. Like the idea that, the quarterback is part of a whole, right? Because like you said, like national media, and like you came from an era, and Tanner, you played in this era too, where like the quarterback was a piece, like the running game, defense was the thing that won championships. How have you seen that narrative change around the quarterback spot? And like, do you think it's fair? Because in some ways, I think this season, for whatever reason, defenses are playing better, whatever it is, quarterback play has kind of regressed a little bit. And it has become the teams with, Seattle's got the best defense in football. And I think I would say that New England this year is a top 5 defense.
I don't think it regressed. I just think that defensively, these teams have been more innovative. They've been more like, you've seen defenses now that you like, I'm watching games and I'm like if the teams I played with offensively had to play against some of these defenses, despite the first year with Shanahan, with Coach Gibbs and the Shanahan years, we probably would have gave them the run for their money. But some of those teams I played on, when I'm watching these defensive fronts and how to get after the quarterback, I remember the quarterbacks I had. I'm like, bro, I'm not getting nothing on the outside. I didn't get nothing with the guys when we went against things that was not as crazy or not as difficult to kind of, decipher. So I just feel like the defensive scheme, how they doing things, the different looks they're showing. I remember I got into the league, man. There was the coverage. You had 0, you had man, you had 1, you had 2, you had 2 under, you had 3, you had 4. That's it. When I got into college, that's all we ever thought about. I heard a 6 every now and then, but I didn't hear 15. I didn't hear this and that. I didn't hear all these. I didn't hear all these crazy different coverages. So I'm like, what the hell is that? Like but every year, like you say, you're gonna learn something new, and that's what you're seeing with defenses, man. They're showing you so much different things because they're watching film every offseason. Like, how can we slow this down? Because the way these offensive-minded coaches are, they scheming up, putting guys from receiving in the backfield, trying those mismatches. They have to put more, cornerbacks or DBs on the field and some of these packages just to say we have a shot.
There you go.
So it's so funny you mentioned that. Like I went down to tight end U a couple of years ago. And so, everybody does a presentation. So Jason Kelsey does his and it's like, this is what we like to do versus, 3 underneath and 3 deep and matching coverages, overload zones. And then Dallas Clark was like the guest speaker. And Dallas Clark's one of my favorite players of all time. Right. So he gets out there and he starts showing film from when he played. And 10, I'm not kidding. So it was like they were drawing in crayon out there. It's like they were in 12 personnel, so there's 2 tight ends on the field. So they're playing cover 3. And they would just run all go. And the guy that's got to match Dallas Clark was like in the box. And I was like, what are we doing? Like you would never see a coverage like that at any point in the NFL. Now.
But I think the defenses had to keep up with the offense. Because when I first got in the league, it was the running back led stuff, and the quarterback came after that. Then it changed over to where you watch people like Andy Reid and those guys where they were always trying to get motion and get movement to get the advantage. And when it matchups. And then and if you think about it, like right now people talk about a linebacker who's older or slow, that running back will get him. I didn't care if the linebacker was 21 or 31. I was going to cook him anyway because he couldn't run with me.
Right.
So now you watch it where the tight ends are catching some of these linebackers. They're getting safeties. The smart teams have a bigger cornerback that they may cover him. So they have to learn how to match up these offenses or they were going to get destroyed. So right now, it's just like, I think the league has gotten to the point where the quarterback is more important to them than anything. When we see anything promoted, it's about the quarterback. So as media people, we start talking about what we think is the most important. And let's be real. There are 32 teams out there. They're not 32 great quarterbacks.
Right.
Okay? It might not be 15 great quarterbacks. But we talk about all of them as if they're all the same, when a lot of them, I say quarterback is the most dependent position in sports. They all depend on something else, and we just got to learn to start understanding that some of those guys just ain't that good.
No, I think that's a great point. And again, I'm really glad you brought up the defense for New England because they've got an interesting story that I think is relevant to the Commanders, right? So their defensive coordinator was Terrell Williams. I was looking up this while you were talking. And he ended up getting some type of cancer diagnosed early in the season. So he's out, right? And the guy that took his spot was Zach Kerr, who has never called plays before, never been a defensive coordinator. He took over the mantle because there was an illness. And again, I think Williams is doing fine now. But he basically took this group and innovated every single week. Like you look at them, they had one of the lowest blitz percentages before the bye week. After they come out, they have the highest blitz percentage. They're blitzing internally a lot, cross dogs, all this stuff, and talk about getting pressure. And so I think that's a good example for the Commanders. Like here's a guy who's never done it, came in, smart dude, understands football, understands the innovation of the defense, and innovated in real time in the season and put this defensive group in a position where they're very, very formidable.
And then something you can add with that too is just saying that he didn't probably have to really shoulder it all himself, or because you have a Vrabel there that he can also he can help him out and say, hey, and that's what we have here. You have Dan here that rather Dan put both foot in the door, when it comes to helping them out or not, or let him just do his own thing. You have that resource in the building that you can always lean on and say, hey, what do you think we should do here? You know what I mean? So that's what I love this game, because you can be talking about one thing that don't even matter to what we have in the system, because there's other minds in the building that can contribute,
I think Deuce Staley made a comment to me the other day. We were talking to him about Blau. And this happens for defenses too, defense coordinators.
Oh, yeah, he knows dude. Like, they know each other,
he was
right?
there when he was there. He said the coach's problem sometimes they call plays, not games.
Dude, look at that.
Once you learn how to call a game, and I think we talked about this when Dan took over, you can see Dan call something that later on, I see why he called that earlier. Some people call plays. And if you're calling plays against some of these offensive coordinators, you're in trouble. But if you're setting up something because you know what they're going to try and do later on, and you have something for them, you're calling the game. And I think that's the whole thing.
We've seen that too this year. I believe San Fran did it with McCaffrey. Early in the game, they ran a play, and they saw how no one paid attention to McCaffrey sneak out the backfield. Come right back, they run a double reverse, that same play, wide receiver, McCaffrey wide open. And that's what we always talked about with Cal when he was here. Cal, McVay, you got LaFleur, like those guys, and they didn't, McVay called plays here one year with me, I believe.
Yeah, your last year.
But I remember him just being in the rooms, being in those meeting rooms, and he would point out things. Oh, you see how that guy, cover that? Or we'll go back to that and do something. We'll do this next time. Like when you get offensive coaches thinking like that, that's when you're saying a guy's really, he's playing the game. He's actually playing the game. Like he's playing the game. Like he's not sitting out there saying, well, I got this on the paper, so I'm gonna call it. No, for what? That's not working. And that's what we're talking about, substance too, in some of your play calling, because I'm not finna sit here and not have my passing game not mirror something in my run game. Like you want it, it don't have to be 70%. It could be 40%, but give me something that I seen before early in the game that I could come back to and run the ball, or show them that fake, and then now hit it. And I hate when I'm watching offenses and I'm like, bro, we ran that play and we're not running nothing off it to make it look like something different. You have to have a little bit of that mirror effect to fool some of these defensive coordinators.
Yeah, and I think it's fun talking about both these offenses, and we're going to talk about Seattle in a second, but like Mike McDaniel, right? McDonald. Yeah, I was getting mixed up.
McDaniel is the other guy.
But McDonald, he does a great job of that too, right? Of creating formations that they run out of, formations that they match in terms of play action. And, New England's offense has one of the highest explosive play percentages in the NFL. And again, Drake Maye does a great job throwing these big digs and these big crossers, but a lot of that comes off of the play action stuff that they work on. And so I think, again,
having great running backs too.
Yeah, to your point, like it's got a solid offensive line, complementary formations. It's like everyone wants to, again, like give Drake Maye his fly, and he's had a great year. I'm not trying to take away from that. But I think you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive coordinator, to the system, how they've insulated him. And
a lot of credit to that offensive coordinator.
That's when the coaches step in.
A lot of credit to that. That offensive coordinator had how many Super Bowls?
10 or 11 Super Bowls.
Say less.
And I'll say this, man.
That says a lot.
Talk about a great example of somebody who is a great coordinator, but
cannot be a head coach.
But can't be a head coach.
Bingo.
No.
That's it. And that's what bothers me the most. Like I said before, I take nothing away from Drake Maye, because he has to go out there and play the game, and he's been phenomenal at doing so. But if you don't sit there and watch that coordinator and say, man, let's tip our hat off to what he's been able to do in this league at that, being an offensive coordinator for all these years, he got Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl to put on his belt to say, give him some more credit for leading his offense in this second-year quarterback instead of saying this second-year quarterback is the quarterback in his class.
That's the people.
Give any one of these other guys that
what you
OC
said
and
earlier,
you tell me what he would do with
What you said earlier is people just want to be right about
they
something.
want to be right. For what? Who cares? Man, I could be dead wrong. Give me a championship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care about being right. Give me a winning season. Give me a winning team.
There you go.
You see?
Yeah. And I think another person that deserves a ton of credit, quite honestly, is Mike Vrabel. And I know he's not like super involved on the offense. Like I've heard that he's like, you know, McDonald, you're the head coach of the offense. But the thing that he's done a great job of when you watch New England games is situational football.
Yeah.
He understands like when I'm calling timeouts, how I'm finding competitive edges. And everyone talks about, man, they won all these close games versus bad teams. Shoot, man, they won the game on some very innovative, forward-thinking football stuff by Mike Vrabel.
The thing about Vrabel, he played under Belichick.
Yeah.
And Belichick, you can say what you want about him. He's a Hall of Famer in my book.
So, dude, I haven't talked to you since then. Like,
that's foolish.
I mean, does it make you feel better that you're not in because he's not in, or like
it showed me
it don't make nobody feel good at all. It just tell you what we've been thinking is
I know,
is very clear.
Belichick had Vrabel playing offense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He had what was the guy who played linebacker for them? Another linebacker. He was on offense, defense, and
well, he had your boy Troy Brown. He had Troy Brown also playing defense.
Adelius Thomas was on there. Belichick was the first coach who went to straight left-footed punters because he knew somebody gonna drop a ball eventually.
It's just such it's just
so Vrabel understands all that stuff, and Vrabel came back and beat Belichick in the playoff game by doing something that Belichick had taught him earlier.
Yeah.
So the whole thing about it is, man, listen, when you have a head coach, see, they say he's not involved with the offense and all that stuff. I think back to Tom Landry when he played. I'm going to take it way back here. Mm-hmm. Tom Landry was offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, and special teams coordinator.
Wow.
So that's the real coach.
Yeah.
He knew everything.
Yeah.
But he didn't call all the stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But he could step in at all times. Now, I remember when Coach Gibbs would have a meeting with not Hannafin, but Pettibone, because they wanted to know in this situation what chance can we take and how can you combat it. You know, these are coaches that work hand in hand. Vrabel does the one great thing that you need to do as a head coach: make your players believe in that you believe in them,
100%,
and make your players believe in themselves.
Yeah,
he does that at a high level, man, and those guys will run through a wall for him.
Yeah.
And so again, like I think there's a lot of good things here to be excited about. Like we haven't really talked. You don't have a ton of offensive playmakers, but they make it work.
Yeah.
They kind of find the right opportunities. Defensively, they've elevated the personnel with scheme. And you know, we're going to talk about Seattle here after we pay some bills, but they have a big challenge in terms of managing the Seattle offense and defense.
Oh yeah,
yes, Lord. Let's pay these bills, baby.
Okay.
Huddle up, team. It's time to call a winter audible because when the temps drop, the real magic kicks off in West Virginia. Think trails that crunch like game day turf, ski runs for every level of fan, and cozy cabins that won't break your budget. Trade lift line chaos for wide open slopes, hot cocoa breaks by crackling fires, and mountains dressed to impress in a blanket of pure white. So grab your squad, pack your cold weather swag, and head to almost heaven this winter, West Virginia.
Dude, you have that one down, bro.
Hey, man, Fred said he was the West Virginian, that he knows about all the mountains and
all right, we got one more. We got Geico.
Read.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like finding a parking spot in front of a busy outdoor cafe where you're meeting some old friends from college and you're about to parallel park into that so tight spot. And then everyone in the cafe stops to watch and you nail it in one try like the parallel parking baller you are. Nobody clapped, but you know they really wanted to. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico. All right, so now we're on to Seattle. And Seattle to me is, I'm going to say this, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. They're the best team in football right now.
Yeah.
They are. I think when you watch Seattle, they are the most complete team in football. Mm-hmm. I think if the 49ers had all their help, they could be.
Interesting, yeah.
But I think when you look at that NFC West.
Dude, it's brutal.
49ers, Seahawks, and the Rams.
Yeah.
You know, you look at that division, man, and they knew how to build a team. But I think when you look at it now, and you got to give Darnold, you got to give him his credit.
Dude, okay, that's the other thing I want to ask you guys.
You got to give him his credit, man.
So I know best team in football is Sam Darnold an elite quarterback?
I think Sam Darnold has to finish this thing off to start being named and talked about like that, because in the last 2 games last year, I understand what people are saying now in Minnesota, like they made a mistake and all this type of stuff. He looked awful in his last 2 games.
Who'd they play? They played the Rams.
And then they came back against Detroit, and I think
they got smoked.
He completely blew it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, he looked like he was seeing the ghosts in those games.
Yeah.
Last week, I was watching intently to see how he would play. They were bringing the stuff to him. And that dude stood in the face of everything he brought, and he was nailing it. And I'm going to tell you, man, JSN, special.
Real deal.
Special, man. So you look at that team with Gonzalez on defense. Gonzalez can erase a receiver. Which one he going to try to erase?
Yeah.
Shaheed can run past him.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigma can route him to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are they going to try with him? But the other kid, 25 over there with the Patriots, he's very good at special teams, but the dude has been balling on defense. So this game here, man, you look at, I know 3 complete phases they've shown me in Seattle. I've seen more or less 2 complete phases in New England. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, elite is kind of stretched.
It's a lot, yeah.
You know, but I would say this. When you have a quarterback.
Also, Marcus Jones, number 25. There we go. Yeah.
When you have a quarterback that's been through the fire and it's now got under some great, I guess you could say, offensive minds and coaches, it started to me over there in Minnesota, being under O'Connell and that offensive staff. It's similar to what we talk about. We love the Kyle Shanahan tree, the Sean McVay tree. And then you get over here to Seattle and it's your guy who dad coached with the Texans and also coached Kubiak.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, if you really think about it, he's the first guy
who runs
of the Shanahan tree.
That's the tree.
Yeah.
Kubiak is the top of the tree. You see what I'm saying? We don't say his name enough, but that's why I wanted to bring his name up, because he's the son of the guy. You see what I'm saying? And we know how that offense can allow. If you a quarterback with any tangibles that these guys want in their quarterbacks, being able to run when we need you to, being able to throw the ball quick and just hit we're going to set it up for you to go out there and be special.
Yeah.
If you can follow what we say do, you're going to be special. Yeah. So I'm not trying to take nothing away from Seattle because I feel like he's been through the ringer. This man has been on some of the worst when playing with the Jets to Carolina to finding his way.
Yeah.
And when you go through that, you're battle tested. You've seen it all. You've been talked about at the highest and the lowest. Now is your time.
That's it.
And you on a team that's playing well defensively. They coach well defensively. Got a great head coach and one of the best offensive with some of the best offensive talent. I think it's his time. He don't have to be elite right now to go out there and win. Just do his job. If he do what's in front of him.
He win this game, he changed the narrative of all USC quarterbacks now.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer.
But they don't give him no credit.
Playing no Super Bowl.
They don't give him no credit.
Carson Palmer has talked about being sacked 68 times.
That is true, yeah.
So I don't even care about if he is or isn't, because I feel like winning this game will give him a chance to now say that, you in that circle, or you in that what you call it, like top 10 guys. Yeah. We're gonna talk about it. But also one of the things about our game that I love and also hate, then you got to do it again next year.
Yep.
You got to play at that level every year for us to say he's elite. So even if he wins, next year is going to be questioning.
Man won 14 games and got released.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. I mean, I guess he wasn't released. They just didn't re-sign him, but it's the same point.
Released.
Yeah.
But the way
they don't re-sign you, they tell you we don't want you.
The way Justin Jefferson feel about it, he's released because he's pissed about it.
I'm sure he is. Well, 'cause that's his guy. Well, the other thing too is so this is what I'll say, just to give my 2 cents on it. This team, talk about to me, a modern team is the Seattle Seahawks. Great defense. They run the football. Not super efficiently, but well enough, and they're committed to it. Yeah. And then they don't leverage the quarterback too much. And when they do leverage him, he freaking balls, man.
Balled out.
It's the same thing with Brock Purdy. That team, he does not have to carry the team. It's Christian McCaffrey's team offensively, right? And they have a good enough defense. Or this year they didn't, but in the years past they have. It's the same kind of setup. So there's always going to be that conversation about whether or not what his role is. But I remember prepping for Seattle, and I think we watched some of the clips together. Watching him, he is talented, man. Yeah. He can zip the football. He's confident.
Layers on it.
He's got whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so as long as you don't break him, I think he could grow into somebody that you're looking at like Matthew Stafford in a couple of years where you're like, dude's a beast.
And another thing, too, that I think you got to give them credit for, they have a running game. Like, that's what people find that people fail to realize, man, when you have an efficient run game, you don't have to put everything on your quarterback's shoulder. You don't have to shoulder all that. And I'm going to say this the best way I can say this. At times, watching us play this year.
I was getting nervous when he says that.
Because I try to be blunt, but not like, you know, I'm going to say it the best way I can. At times when I watched us play offensively, it's just me. I'm not saying this is facts. At times I feel like we want 5 to be special all the time.
Yeah,
that's not football. It's not great football. Yeah. Offensive football. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from. Sometimes it may have just looked like that to me, but I feel like it wasn't nothing that gave us a chance to say, okay, just hand it off and let somebody else do something. It was always be special. If it ain't their night, it's time to be special. Yeah. And so I love watching football and offenses that's able to get to where Seattle is getting to this year, being in the Super Bowl with a quarterback that everybody didn't think that much of. Yeah. But they're not asking him to do nothing but just do his job. Yeah. And he can throw the ball with the best of them. And guess what? I don't have to be special when it's not there. Save itself for the next play. You know? Game. Or if it's something for me to do, then do it. Yeah. But I don't want that every play breaks down. I gotta see you go out there and put the cape on
right now.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Put the cape on. Yeah. Like, I don't want to see that from my quarterbacks all the time.
I think Sam Darnold fell into what John Thompson always said. He say the best player go to the worst team. All sports. Think about that. Your worst team gets to pick the best player. Yeah. And then since that guy was the best player with a bunch of kids in college, you expect him to step to the next level and be a leader for all these adults in the next level.
And people forget he was young coming out.
He went to two teams that weren't good. Yeah. And now he finally got to a team where he has a little experience and he has some veteran players around him and with a better coaching staff. Yeah. And you look how he's playing.
I think that speaks volume more than anything, the coaching staff, because people fail to realize 9 times out of 10, you know, and not to say that this coaching staff, you know, was just better than the guys that he was coached by before, because a lot of these guys are the first time. You know what I mean? You got your guy Mike McDonald, this is his first time head coach, right?
Yeah, second year, first time head coach. Yeah.
But they look well last year when he first got there.
Kubiak, first time offensive play
first time
caller.
OC. So
really, Kubiak first time.
This
and he's playing well. Nobody said anything about that, do they?
Exactly.
Come on, man.
But that's why I say, man, it's just one of those things. I think you have to learn how to win. You know. Yeah. And I think that's another thing that shines bright with Sam Darnold. He lost a lot. I mean, collectively as a team, but also personally. You know what I mean? Like the way that the game is talked about now at that position, man, Sam Darnold was under the rug when it comes to how they talked about this guy. And so that's why I love the fact that as much as we lift up his class when it comes to Josh Allen, your guy Lamar Jackson. Who's another guy who was in his class? The guy who said he's going to make the team, Rosen. You know how he talked about
Drew Rosen.
Yeah, it's like
is
all
those
guys
playing the Super Bowl.
None of them seen the Super Bowl yet.
He's the only one. Yeah.
Dude, that is unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
So, but he went a different route. All those other guys has MVPs and, you know, lackluster playoff performances to cause them to not see the dance. He's gotten there. The road was bumpy. He went through a lot of roadblocks. He went through sometime the road ended. But some kind of way, he found his way. He got in a boat and went to the other side.
Pressure that way. Diamonds, dog.
and he's here. So that's why I'm rooting for Sam Darnold, man. I mean, I care less what's going on. I'm rooting for him because I love to see what he's went through, and now he's there. He's arrived.
Yeah, I think that's just a perfect description of why he's such a fun guy to root for. And I think the thing I want to point out here is we've talked a lot about the offense. To me, this is a defensive-led football team.
Oh, definitely.
And when I look at the players they have in the secondary, the defensive line they have, the guys they have at the mid-level of the defense, like with Emin Worry and Witherspoon and some of these kind of in-between hybrid players, like to me, that is going to be the story of this game. Because again, if the defense plays the way they can play, Sam Darnold doesn't have to worry about anything. And can Drake Maye handle this defense? Because I went back and I watched some of their explosive plays this year, and Drake Maye is dealing. Great ball, great touch, but he's holding the ball for like 5 seconds.
Oh, he likes to hold it.
He has like one of the longer times to throws in the NFL. This defense will not let you do that, and they are going to cover like absolute maniacs. So to me, that's the story heading into this thing.
I think they've shown already in these playoffs and during the regular season that they can affect a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think New England has shown in the last 2 weeks that they can be affected on offense.
It's a great way dude, such a simple way, but that's exactly what it is.
And what I see is that when you have an offense with the weapons that they have in Seattle, and you have a defense that could constantly give you the ball back, that's a problem for the other defense. If you keep that other defense on the field, they start to get a little tired, get a little worn out.
Yeah.
And when you look at, you talked about him, Drake likes to hold the ball. What does he do also with that?
Fumbles, yeah.
You fumble and they turn it over, and you do that maybe boom, and then they come back and they get scored. You have problems against a team like Seattle.
I'm going to be very interested to watch how what's the OC name is from New England again? Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
I'm gonna be very interested knowing what he has under his belt with just seeing this game before, being here, knowing what his quarterback does good and not. He has a tremendous run game with Trayvon and the other guy, Daniels. What his name is? Stevenson.
Stevenson. Ramondre Stevenson.
Like those guys can run the ball. I'm gonna be watching this closely to see how that first 15 looks. Like, is he trying to slow things down to make Seattle, present because Seattle could get out to the run game too. You know what I mean? These guys, they fly around defensively as a whole, regardless, no matter what you do. But I want to see if he gives them a chance to really say, okay, I gotta bait these guys into saying this is what we're gonna do to give Drake some time to be able to be efficient in the play action game. You know what I mean? And I think that's the only way they're gonna be able to go toe-to-toe with Seattle, because Seattle, like we said, when you got an offense that's hitting on all cylinders and your defense hitting on all cylinders, and you got that dude Shaheed back there and he can run anything back, kick return, punt return, somebody might be in trouble. But it's going to be up to Josh McDaniels and how they do offensively to slow things down for Seattle's defense.
Like, I think Seattle's going to get after it a little bit, but that is the one joker that I'm a little bit worried about. Is because McDaniel's seen all this stuff, right? And he knows how to prep for the Super Bowl. He knows how to use that extra time. He knows how to put Drake Maye in the best position to be successful. And I think if he's ready to call a patient game and be like, hey, it's okay if we punt on the first couple of possessions, right? To kind of play the field position game. And when we get good field position, we go and take our shot. Like, that's where the experienced play caller, I think, becomes invaluable.
No doubt.
I think the experienced play caller becomes invaluable for him, but that quarterback has to show his patience.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
And has to also show that he's willing to not out there and start getting a little rushed.
Yeah. Dude,
because he's not Tom Brady.
Bars today, dude.
I mean, he's not Tom Brady. Tom, one thing about Tom, slow as molasses, but he got the ball in his hand extremely quick.
Yeah.
Drake Maye, unbelievable athlete. Can run, but he holds on to the ball too long. Yeah. And in this day and age of football, that's
that leads you up,
to a quarterback.
Yeah. And I also want to put out there, last time around when Sam Darnold made it far, like last year, not talking about this year, we felt like he was uneasy in that game when he was in Minnesota. So far this year in the postseason, and all those games that was big, and we was waiting to see that Sam Darnold show up again. He wasn't that guy. Will the Super Bowl bring that guy back?
That's a great point.
You know what I mean?
Well, he'd be like me, and I'll remember the first 5 minutes of the game.
This is a huge game. This is a huge game. Will the Super Bowl bring out that Sam Darnold that saw something that a lot of other people didn't see? So, and that's why I say, don't get me wrong, we throw that around jokingly, rightfully so. But I feel like he's turned that corner when it comes to being that guy. Because I think going into that Minnesota game, they took something for granted going into that playoff, going into the postseason. Thus far this year, I love what I'm seeing from the coaching staff along in Seattle, because it seems like the team itself is just grounded. These guys coming out here, they playing good football. They playing collectively. They playing together. It's not this one-man show. It's like, look, we got to do your job. It's almost like watching Belichick on the other side telling every guy to do their job. Do your job. And we should have the success that we've seen these guys have so far.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Fantastic job, boys. All right, let's get to break 3, and then we've got Washington Commanders Super Bowl trivia up next. But let's hit the break real quick.
All right, huddle up. Commanders fans, the Commanders Golden Pass raffle operated by Virginia Lottery gives you the chance to win the ultimate fan experience. That means tickets, VIP treatment, special appearances by Washington legends, and much more. Limited tickets is available, so visit VALottery.com/commanders to enter the raffle today. That's VALottery.com/commanders. And break.
Dude, Tana is on fire today.
Tana killing it.
Just needed not to have Fred here for a couple hours, and we're all right. Okay, U.S. Army. They say your work defines who you are. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, you're clocking in. But what happens on the weekend? What happens to your time? You could take it easy, or you could use that time to get better. In the U.S. Army, we think differently. Your time should be used to improve the skills you do have, to learn some you don't, to push yourself in new ways, because it's those days that truly define who you are. That's how you make progress. That's how you make an impact on the world around you. It's your time. How you spend it is up to you. It's your time. The U.S. Army Reserve.
It's the last call for football on FanDuel. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. If you're the new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Last call for FanDuel. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. You have to be 18 years old and present in D.C. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. That's 1-800-522-4700.
B. What the hell, man? He's holding out on us.
Sound like a guy who knows what he's doing.
You even said, man.
I was listening to 106.7 fan. Like,
I was like, you got that on us. God bless, dude. All right, so B, nice job, buddy. Okay, so now we've got Washington Super Bowl trivia brought to you by the U.S. Army. Be tested, not just on paper. Be strong and more than muscle. Be courageous and supported by a mighty team. Be all you can be. Visit GoArmy.com to learn more. And now we have Amanda, who is the producer of this segment, to help us with our trivia. Amanda, how are you?
I'm good.
This is your first time on the show. Are you a little nervous for today or what?
A little bit.
Is it the first or the second?
I think I'll be okay.
I don't think she's actually been on the mic before.
Okay.
Yeah, first time on the mic for the podcast.
Gotcha.
So now we're going to do a little bit of Washington Super Bowl trivia for the teams. 3 Super Bowl wins in the past 40 years. So each of these questions is going to get increasingly a little bit more difficult with a fun final bonus question.
All right.
And then the winner will be named the Super Bowl savant at the end of this.
Savant.
Yeah, I suck at trivia, so I'm not even expecting to do well.
So
It's multiple choice, though, so the answer is
yeah,
Gotcha.
most of these are multiple choice. There is 2 open-ended, but still.
right.
Shouldn't be too difficult. So I will be keeping track of points so we can figure that all at the end.
I'll help you out with that. So here we go.
So I'll start with the first question.
Okay.
What was the nickname for the offensive line during the 1982, played in 1983 Super Bowl?
Hogs.
No, wait, we got to buzz in, right? Like, what do we?
No.
Hogs.
So I will be rattling off kind of the A, B, C, and D.
It's the Hogs, though,
Hogs.
right?
Yes.
So B. Mitch gets it.
Everybody will get the amount of points. So this question is worth 10 points.
Oh.
So everybody now gets 10 points for the correct answer.
I see. Okay.
Hogs.
Right.
Yeah.
The Hogs was simple.
So then
You
this
like that one, Ted?
I knew that one. If I didn't know that one, boy, kick me out the door right now.
this next question is going to be worth 15 points.
Oh.
So during the 1987 Super Bowl, Washington set a record for the most points in a single quarter.
35.
Hey, this is not fair. This is not fair.
I was in college.
This is not fair.
Where are you?
1870. What was it? 19 what?
1987.
1987.
I was born. I was born in that year,
Okay.
87. So, dude, I wasn't born for that because this is the football. Wait, when did it happen? It happened in January.
Yeah, it was January 20-something.
Yeah, I was born in February
So
that year.
everybody talk about the offense, though. How many times did the defense get the ball back for them to score 35 points?
35 points, though? So B
In
gets
one
those points,
quarter.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll just get the 15 points.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I wasn't even alive for that.
I wouldn't know that neither.
Okay, so this next question, everybody has a chance to answer. It's worth 20 points total,
Okay.
but it will be 5 for each one that you can get correct.
Oh, God.
So Doug Williams was the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl in 1991.
Okay.
Can you guys name all the black quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl after him?
Oh, my gosh.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, you bastard.
So Russell,
McNair didn't win one, did he?
I have
No, McNair didn't win the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of that.
Russell and your guy, the guy for the Philly,
Which guy won 2 of them? Jalen Hurts.
Hurst won.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
That's an easy one.
Hurst won 1. He went to 2.
He went to 2. He won 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, these are
So
just
how
Super
many
Bowl
are there?
winners.
There's 4 of them?
Just Super Bowl winners.
Yes, there's 4.
Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson.
Those are good ones. Those are the ones I should have got. But
Go backwards, time.
Cunningham never won any.
Nope.
Culpepper.
Nope. It's since Doug, so they're younger people.
Yeah.
I can't much get to these damn things.
You said it's 4? That one?
Yeah.
4.
Oh,
We get a hint on the team.
Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes, yeah.
Yep.
Why did we get that one first?
Nah,
I'm not answering anymore. I got enough
Yeah, you
points.
got 15 points. He's walking away.
I gotta win. I gotta get one.
Get
more.
one of these.
Other than Pat Mahomes, I'm trying to see who wins.
Team? You got a team?
If I say the team, it might be
Yeah, we
too
gonna know it.
obvious.
Who's one?
It's an NFC team.
It's an NFC team.
You
Damn.
got 15B. I'll put that on there for you. I can't even
He didn't
think.
win it right there.
What year?
Nah, but you say, say NFC as a whole.
Can't think of this one.
Yeah, me neither.
And this is why I don't play trivia games, man.
Because now I'm like mad about it. I'm like irritated at myself.
My brain hurt.
I know.
I'm thinking too
All
hard.
right, Amanda, what we got?
Who is it?
Okay. It
Somebody we know.
looks like
What was the team? First, say the team.
Panthers. I had it down as Cam
Oh no, he didn't
Newton.
win.
They didn't win it.
He didn't win.
They didn't win it.
He didn't win it. He
Okay,
wins.
appearances, I
Oh.
think then that would count. But then I'll count that for
Okay, so he's got
every
3. I'm sharing them points with B. Mitch. He ain't know him by himself.
Who was the quarterback for the Panthers?
I gotta at least get 10.
Cam.
I knew
Oh,
Hurts.
Cam.
I knew Hurts.
He didn't win it.
Yeah.
I get 10
Okay.
points.
This is
I
appearance.
knew
You
Hurts.
get 10 points?
I knew Hurts and the other one, the
Mahomes?
Russell Wilson. I didn't say.
You didn't
Mahomes
say
fast
it, but he said it first, though.
He said
He wouldn't die. Cam wouldn't dive on the ball.
Yeah.
I'll count that.
Yeah, I get
You get 10 points?
I get 10 points, man.
Yes.
You ain't say nothing, dog.
Hey,
You ain't say nothing.
Hey, Fred.
He get 15.
see,
over
if you
there.
were here, Fred, you wouldn't have got that either.
All right. Fourth
Okay.
question.
This next question is going to be kind of
You all right?
B-Mitch specific, worth 25 points if you get it correct.
It's B-Mitch specific?
Lord
Yes.
have mercy.
Wow.
This thing
So
is,
how many yards was the kick return B-Mitch made in Super Bowl 26?
Oh, man, wasn't that long.
it was.
So the options are A, 28 yards, B, 10 yards, C, 8 yards, or D, 16 yards.
A kick
16.
return?
Yeah.
A kick return?
It was a squibby. 16.
You scored a touchdown on this?
No.
Oh.
Kick return yard. It was 16?
No, it was
28.
16? Dang, B-Mitch 25
I
points.
just guessed it. I didn't even know. I don't know.
Because they were squib kicking. They weren't.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, by squib kick.
I thought it was a
They
touchdown.
weren't kicking the ball to us. They were squib kicking.
Yeah, they knew better.
So I think B-Mitch has run away with this thing.
they knew,
All right, what we
they knew
got?
30
Yeah,
was back there.
I would say so. This next question is going to be our kind of final fun question.
Is it B-Mitch related? Because that's not
No.
fair. Okay.
It's
Not
not.
that I would win either way, but
So this
just
question
went
is
with
going to be, it's going to be a little bit different. The winner is going to be the only one that gets the points, and it's whoever gets the closest to the
Okay.
right answer. So the question is, how long was Rigo's run in Super Bowl 17?
44 yards.
47 yards.
I was gonna say I guess.
And you both said 44?
I said 44.
Okay. Then you two can both get the points because the answer was 43.
Yes! On the board, boys.
We was all over.
Hey, I knew it was because they kept saying if he had one more yard, it would have been his number.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. See,
So how many points was that?
So in total, let me.
No, I'm saying, well, how many points was the last
that one was 40.
So
you get 20.
I get 20, you get 20? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So, B-Mitch walked
So
off with this
either
thing.
way, B-Mitch
So
has
you got 20,
run
Tana.
away.
I got 30.
I'm shocked because I normally don't
10,
remember
30,
all these numbers.
40.
I don't know none of that shit.
40 plus 25 is 65.
A landslide win.
85 for B-Mitch. 85.
So clearly we have a Super Bowl savant in the
Yeah,
room.
seriously.
It's only right for a guy. It's only right. It's only right for a guy who been to the Super Bowl.
I'm mad about the Cam
Most of
Newton
these
thing.
questions was asked about those teams. He was
on?
He's either on or he watched closely.
Jeez.
Oh man.
All right. Well, Amanda, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun.
That was
That's a good
fun.
segment. You've done a great job with the third
Appreciate
segment of the show every week. So I think that's going to do it for today's show. B, thanks for coming by.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Great job.
Definitely, brother, definitely.
If you like the show, please make sure you like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure you check out Get Loud because they are live from Radio Row this week.
Oh, we know they're going to be loud.
But for this show, that's it. The Command Center podcast was filmed at the Big Bear AI Command Center studio. Big Bear AI offers mission-ready AI for a rapidly evolving world, proudly protecting the Washington Commanders and its fans.